Welcome back to Trauma Recovery Anonymous, the podcast. My name is Richard and I'm your host. Spiritual bankruptcy and saving our soul. I believe this is where we need to target the idea of healing from any past trauma memory or any fear or worry of the unknown future. The Bible tells us that God's name is I am, and if we want to live fully in our lives, we must focus on the I am, disregarding the I was or the I will be. The I was didn't happen to the person that we are right here and now in this moment in time. It happened to a younger aspect of us, whether it was this morning, yesterday, or in your history. It happened in the past. It didn't happen to the person you are today. Your whole meaning and purpose in life can only be found in the here and now, in the present moment. What happened in the past is the meaning and purpose of your younger self, your inner child. That's why we refer to your younger self as your inner child. It's not you. So whatever happened in your past, if you're a veteran looking back on the younger aspect of you who enlisted to go off to fight in a war, that's the version of you who was the victim of the event. You're a survivor in the future looking back. If maybe you were married to a narcissist, understand that you survived that relationship today, and the younger aspect of you fell in love and married that narcissist, not realizing that they were marrying a dysfunctional person. Whether you come from a broken home or dysfunctional childhood, understand that a child in your history suffered that dysfunctional home or that broken childhood, not you. You're a survivor today looking back on the past. But science tells us that our bodies change every 7 to 10 years. And if you imagine today, I'm 65 years of age. I'm not the same body I was in when I was 12 years of age. At 12 years of age, I was a child. Today, I'm a grown man and adult. I can't be the same person. The only part of me that hasn't changed over the last 50 years is my soul. My whole physical body has changed. My mental and emotion has been affected because my physical body has changed. Old cells have died and replaced with new cells. Every atom of my being has changed over the years. That my physical makeup, my physical presence is completely different to the body I had when I was a child. All my hopes and dreams and aspirations today are different to the hopes, dreams and aspirations a 12-year-old child would have had. So I can't go around telling the whole world that I was molested at the age of 12 because I was never 12 years of age. I am 65 years of age today. This is the only thing I can be, is who and what I am today. A 65-year-old man, a husband and father, a sibling, a cousin, a trauma recovery coach, a podcast host. This is who I am today. I can't go back and say I'm the person I was yesterday or last week or last month or last year or back in my childhood. Different aspects of me, different inner childs to the person I am today. I'm not an inner child today. I'm a grown adult. I'm meant to behave and act like a grown adult today. Looking back on the past, I am a survivor today, striving to step from survivor to victor, and then from victor to helper. And through my podcast presentations and my trauma work, I'm striving to be a helper, to help other people step out of the survivor mode to become a victor, or even for them to become helpers too. But understand, you're not the victim. You can only be the victim of what's happening in your life today. So if my words are triggering you, then you're the victim of my words triggering you today, and that's it. What happened in the past to your inner child didn't happen to you. And because the past is held in our soul and not in our bodies, mentally, physically, or emotionally, we have to treat for the soul sickness, the spiritual bankruptcy. We have to save our souls. The world today tends to put a lot of effort into treating us mentally, emotionally, and physically. We all know about 3 meals a day and to cut down the sugar and cut down the alcohol and drugs. That maybe don't drink alcohol before your bed and don't use too much internet before your bedtime and do some exercise. All these things to do with our physical, emotional, spiritual, physical, emotional, and mental seem to be taken care of. But the one area we seem to be neglecting is the spiritual. The soul, the spiritual bankruptcy, the spiritual illness, the spiritual malady, the broken spirit, the hole in our soul. That seems to be neglecting, as though we think that if we look after ourselves mentally, emotionally, and physically, that will be okay. But if we disregard the soul, we are damning ourselves to a sense of utter hopelessness. Hope is born in the soul. It's a spiritual aspect. And when we can fill our soul with hope and joy and acceptance and worth, then our thoughts and feelings improve. But if we strive or we go through life without hope and joy and purpose and happiness and self-acceptance, then our thoughts and feelings are going to be lacking. They're going to be all negative, angry, frustrated, shameful, regretful, anger and frustration, depression, anxiety, worry, fear. That's where we're going to be because we're ignoring our soul. Our soul is the essence of who we are. We are all spiritual beings. I think even if you're an atheist or an agnostic, you'd accept that there's a spiritual essence to the concept of being a human being. That somewhere deeper in us there's a soul. Wherever that soul resides in us, there's moments in our lives when our souls are touched greatly. So you see a sunset, or you hear a newborn baby laughing. You see something that brings a smile to your face. In that moment, you know it's not mental, it's not emotional. Something touched you deep within you to change your whole sense of worth. In any moment when you're feeling anxious or worried or nervous, if you're able just to smile a natural smile, you'll find just by simply smiling, something inside you changes. Something makes you feel better. It's not your thinking, it's not your feeling, it's not your situation in your life. You can still be having horrible challenges in your life, horrible dysfunctional behaviors all around you. But in any one moment when you can smile for the simple sake of smiling, you'll feel the change in your body. You'll feel something touch you and you'll know it's your soul. And so the goal of any recovery program is to treat for the spiritual malady. In every 12-step program, and there are 14 12-step programs out there, we talk about a spiritual malady, a spiritual illness. We're maladjusted to life on a spiritual level. We think it's all about us against the world, me, against a self-centered world, life in life's terms. And it's very hard trying to do this alone. But when we can break into the concept of it's okay to trust your family and friends, it's okay to trust God, and to ask Him to send a host of angels down to protect you and keep you and help you through your challenges, you find life gets much easier. When you start feeding your soul and start putting into your soul all the negative stuff, start thinking those happy thoughts. The Bible tells us if you want happiness, we have to act as though we've received it already. So whatever it is you need in your life, forgiveness, forgetfulness, compassion, tolerance, love, imagine you have it already. Visualize it already. See it as being in your life already. Thank God for giving you love and kindness and happiness and joy in your life. And suddenly as you keep repeating this prayer over and over throughout your day, suddenly you'll start experiencing moments where people create scenarios where you feel happy, joyous, free, hopeful. All these things will happen. The law of attraction and the law of manifestation tells us whatever we focus on, we manifest into our lives. So if you're focusing on the idea that you're mentally ill and you have a mental disorder because of your feelings, and your feeling of worry is anxiety, and your feeling of sadness and anger is depression, and you have a mental disorder and you can never trust your feelings and you always have to be on guard against letting anyone get too close, and if that's the way you live your life, that's what you're attracting into your life. The Bible tells us whatever we focus on, we get given to us by God tenfold. So if you're thinking depression, anxiety, sadness, anger, frustration, resentments, not forgiving, not letting go, seeking vengeance and justice, if this is all you're thinking of, you're getting that tenfold. You have to learn to change your thinking, change your acting by feeding your soul. Wake up in the morning and say, just for today, I choose to be happy, joyous and free. Smile as much as you can. Break out in the odd half-hearted laugh. Even though it may be half-hearted, force yourself to laugh. Force yourself to think of happy, joyous things. Continue to smile. Smile. Every person you meet, smile and greet them. Good morning, good afternoon, hello. Whatever it is, that's what you have to do. There's no pill or therapy out there that can fix this for you. You have to change your mindset, your thoughts, your feelings, and your expressions of how you express yourself, alone or with people. Smile more. Offer greetings to everybody. Be kind and loving and tolerant. No, people make mistakes. If someone cuts across you in traffic, let them go. Just tell yourself they must be trying to get to the hospital because the wife's having a baby. And allow them to cut past you in traffic. Don't get angry. Don't react. Start being loving to anybody and everybody you can think of. And what will happen is, as you're loving to other people, you'll start becoming loving to yourself. As you forgive other people, you'll start to forgive yourself. As you start forgetting about other people's intrusions upon your life, you'll find you'll start forgetting the past. You'll stop taking on the baggage of what happened to your inner child. Your inner child wants to leave this plane of existence and to step into the light, into the mansion prepared for them in our Father's mansion. But they can't cross over until they have all the details and the baggage of what happened to them. But somewhere in your past, in the past recent years, you went and took the baggage from their grave and claimed it as your own, going around telling the whole world, this happened to me. You became part of your inner child's abuse by taking on their baggage which they had defeated and giving life to it, volunteering to be its victim, and then telling the whole world it happened to you, yourself sabotaging your life. You can no longer blame your past or your parents or the war or conflict, your childhood for this. You are doing this to you. It didn't happen to you. You've decided to take this pain and hurt that happened to your inner child on as your own, or you've felt the idea that you can suffer their pain for them. But the truth is, your inner child wants to leave this plane of existence. They want to step into the light, step into heaven where there's no harm and no hurt, where God will send 10,000 angels down to take their baggage from them, and they can be in a spiritual land where there's no harm or hurt. But to get there, they can't leave this plane of existence without their baggage. And you giving life to their baggage in the present, you are their own worst enemy, and you're self-sabotaging your life. And you have an obligation to let your inner child go. You no longer have a right to suffer their pain for them. There's no valid reason for you to continue telling the whole world you have depression or PTSD because of what happened to your inner child. It didn't happen to you. It's none of your business. You have an obligation today to release your inner child. To say to your inner child, I'm very sorry, I made a mistake. I thought I was assisting you, but I realize now I've been destroying my own life and I've been holding you back. And I want to let you go. And so you embrace a program very similar to Trauma Recovery Anonymous. You do the healing event, which is called Healing Any Trauma Memory, available on the Amazon platform. And in 2 hours, you've given the details and the baggage of the past event back to your inner child. And they've taken it off you, they've thanked you for this, and they've stepped into the light. And so when your therapist asks you about the past and how that makes you feel, you'd say, I know what happened to young Richard happened a lifetime ago, and he's left this plane of existence and he's taken all his baggage with him. And now it's no longer a part of me in any way. I don't need to feel it or worry about it. It's left this plane of existence. So I want to focus on my life in the present and how I can unlearn this dysfunctional behaviors of this diagnosis so I can be a normal human being today around my family and my friends. And the Trauma Recovery Anonymous program is a 12-step program that you do on the second part of this event to undo the learned dysfunctional behaviors of the dysfunctional disorder you were given, whether that was depression or PTSD. Understand the past never happened to you. It was never yours to suffer or to process. None of your business at all. Your business is to live fully in the present. And to do that, you've got to break free of the past. This program, Trauma Recovery Anonymous, works, but it has to be you working it. There's no one to fix or save you. It's not talk therapy. I'm not planning being your therapist for the next 10 years. You can come and be validated about your feelings. Your feelings have no matter in this. It didn't happen to you, therefore your feelings don't come into it. You're making a decision to give the details and the baggage of the past back to your inner child, whoever that is. So if you're a veteran today in your 60s, you're giving it back to the 18, 19-year-old version of you who enlisted. If you're in your 40s and you survived a narcissistic marriage, well, you know you're giving it back to the young 24-year-old, 25-year-old who got married into that relationship. If you suffered in your childhood at the age of 9, well, know that you're 50 years of age today. You're not a 9-year-old child. So what happened to that 9-year-old child happened to that 9-year-old child. It didn't happen to you. It's none of your business. And so on. If it was 9/11, well, that's nearly 40 years ago, it didn't happen to you. If you're 70 years of age today, looking back on the 9/11 that happened when you're 30s, it didn't happen to you. It happened to a younger aspect of you in their 30s. So you have to let them go and let them take the details and baggage of that trauma event with them to step into the light. It's got nothing to do with you. Your whole meaning and purpose can only be found in this present moment today, this 24-hour period for you today. And we can break it right down into this 1 hour now. So I started this podcast presentation about 15 minutes ago. So let's say from 3 o'clock here until 4 o'clock, this is my 1 hour. This is my past, my present, and my future. The past is the minutes I've gone through in this 1 hour already. The present is the minutes I'm in right now. And the future is the rest of this hour in front of me. That's the only lifetime I have to deal with, is right here, right now. Everything from the past is none of my business. And everything in the future may never happen. The world might end at the end of this hour. I might die. We don't know what's going to happen in the future. I only have this 1 hour here and now, and I need to focus on being fully present in this 1 hour here and now. I look forward to working with you. You can contact me at appointments@traumarecoveryanonymous.com. And these two books, Healing Any Trauma Memory and Trauma Recovery Anonymous, are available on the Amazon platform. Thank you.